Hi everyone, this is Robin, live from the Robin's Nest, and this is a video response. A video response to an old video from Jim Mather's Foamy the Squirrel. Foamy the Squirrel on teachers and bullies. Now the reason why I feel as though I have to make this particular video is because I made some comments on that video, and I made quite a few comments, and then the end result was I got a lot of responses back, and I just do not have the time to sit down and to answer every single individual response, because it really is a very difficult subject to talk about and handle. So I'm going to do my best to give you all the answers that I need to give you, that I just don't have the time to sit down and give each individual response time. But I do want to let you all know where I'm coming from on the subject. To all the kids out there who answered, I do feel your pain, and I do understand where you're coming from. Please do not get the impression that I am some heartless bitch and that I don't understand what you're going through. I am very well aware of what you're going through, because when I was a school child, I was bullied. I was terribly bullied. I was bullied to the point of being put in the hospital. So I do understand what you all are going through right now at this time of your life, and I do understand what you're going through now that we're living in the computer age, something I did not have when I was a school child. I went to school in the 1970s, early 1970s to the mid 1980s. From 1972 to 1982, I went to a Roman Catholic grade school. In fact, this is my picture from first grade, if you can see it. And when I graduated in 82, I ended up going to from an inner city elementary school to a suburban high school. And it was a period of adjustment, a big period of adjustment, because I was so used to going to school in the city. I wasn't used to being all the way up in the suburbs. But at both schools, I did receive my share of bullying. I received my share, your share, and even Jim Mather's and Foamy's share. I got it a lot. The main reason why I was bullied a lot, I think, was because at the time I was a very quiet child when I was younger. I was very small, very quiet, very easily intimidated. I had a very soft, quiet voice. I spoke very articulately. I was well read. I had manners. And don't ask me why, but the classmates that I had at that time just thought that I was, for lack of a better word, uppity. I thought I was stuck on myself, and how that can be when you're just a small kid, I don't know, but somehow they got it into their mind that I was conceited. On top of all of that, having the, quiet disposition and, general attitude, I also had sickle cell disease, and that didn't help any. That didn't help me any. It made me look weak, and it made me look like I was helpless, and I was just a target. I was just a really big target. I mean, even though I was small, I was a really big target. And I got it from all ends. And there was about 3 or 4 kids who bullied me on a regular basis. I will not say what their names are. One girl, she was brutal. She bullied me not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. One Christmas, we had Pollyanna at our school, in our class, where, you know, we draw names out of a hat, and we're supposed to buy the Christmas present for the name of the person that we picked. And I don't know how it happened this way. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. I never really thought that my bully just got my name out of the hat. I really don't think that. I think one of the other classmates got my name, and they didn't want my name, and the bully said, "Here, I'll take her." And she took my name. And when it came time to give presents to each other, and I'm seeing all the kids, you know, one by one getting their gifts, and I didn't get my gift yet, and then there was only one girl left who didn't give a gift to somebody yet, and I was hoping and praying as the time was dwindling down that she didn't get my name, but it turns out she did. She got my name, and she didn't buy me anything. She didn't buy me anything at all. She just came up to my desk and said, "Here's your present." And she just gave me $3 that she was supposed to spend on a gift. We were supposed to spend anywhere from $3 to $5 on a present, and she didn't buy me shit. But that event came after years of abuse. She would always bully me. She would always say stuff to me, always threaten to hurt me. And quite a few times she did. She would hit me, she would punch me, she would beat me. And it wasn't just me that she dealt the business to. She also bullied other kids in the class. One of the kids that she bullied was a friend of mine. Granted, my friend, she had issues herself, but I don't know what happened, but one day my bully was bullying this girl in the fire escape that led down to the playground. And she had her backed up in the corner, and I could see her pointing at her and saying, "And if you do ever such a, and I'm gonna," and she was just giving her the business, you know, emotionally, verbally threatening her. And time was getting by, and I was waiting for my friend to come downstairs and play, and I said, "Come on, the bell is getting ready to ring. We only got a few more minutes. We only got 10 minutes. We're going to miss recess." And just about 5 minutes before recess was over, my bully came down the stairs, and for no reason, she just said, "And as for you," and she just not only punched me in the face, she started kicking me in my legs repeatedly. She kept kicking me in my shins and in my knees over and over again, hard. And I couldn't stop her, and I tried to fend her off, and I couldn't do it. And she kicked me so hard in both of my legs, she aggravated a sickle cell crisis, and I went into the hospital. And this very day, I will get an involuntary twitch in my calves and in my knees from that beating. And I've kept that to myself until now. When I told what had happened to me, because when it happened, the only thing I could do was just cup onto my legs and cry. And the school janitor found me. He found me in the bottom of the stairwell, and he picked me up and he carried me to the principal's office. And I had to tell. I had to tell what happened. And I did. And eventually my mother was called, and it was talked over between my mom, my sister, my dad, and the teacher, my teacher, and the principal. And eventually my bully was expelled. But it didn't end there, because after she was expelled, it got worse. Because even though she was gone, her friends were still there. And her friends had open season on me. And so her friends took over, picking on me and bullying me. And I had been instilled with the belief that if you're being bullied, then go to an adult and tell someone. The problem is that it happened on such a frequent basis, and I kept running backwards and forwards and telling people, look, I'm being bullied, that after a while, people just stopped listening. After a while, it was, oh, you're just letting one little insensitive comment hurt you. Suck it up. After a while, no one wanted to hear me complain anymore. And after a while, you just learn to stop screaming, and you take it. And after a while, it's not only the kids who pick on you. The teachers find fault with you as well. And the principal doesn't want to deal with you. And then to ensure that the bullying wouldn't happen, two things occurred. First thing was, my mom got fed up. And she said, Robin, I did not bring you into this world for this. I didn't go through the pain and the suffering of having you, trying to deliver you. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 days. 5 days of labor, pushing out a 2-pound, 11-ounce baby, because I was born premature, 3 months premature, in order to go through this. I did not bring you into this world to be some stupid kid's punching bag. If somebody hits you, you ball up your fist and you hit them back. And then she said, don't worry about getting in trouble. Don't worry about if you get sent to the principal's office. If somebody is picking on you, and if they hit you first, you ball up your fist and you hit them back. And you hit them as hard as they can and let them feel it. And if you get in trouble, if you get sent to the principal's office, don't worry about it. I will come down there. You tell me what happened, as long as you tell me the truth, and as long as you didn't start the fight, I will back back you up 100%. I don't give a damn what this principal, I don't give a damn what the teachers or the principals do or say. I don't care. Let me know afterwards. I'm getting sick and tired of you coming home crying, telling me this happened, that happened, the other happened, and nobody's doing anything. I'm getting sick and tired of you coming home with bruises. Somewhere, Mom realized that she had a little wimp for a daughter, and that the little wimp needed to be toughened. And that's what she taught me. And I did that. And yeah, I got in trouble. And yes, she came down to the principal's office and she backed me up. Of course, there were times when I took it a little bit too far. I mean, it wasn't like I became a bruiser or anything like that. But it's just after a while, it's like when you finally get a little bit of taste of power, it's like you want it for yourself. You want to keep it. And you want to relive it. But still, things wasn't easy. Even with that, it wasn't easy after that. Because I guess I had developed such a reputation for being such a wuss that when I started to fight back, it was almost like, well, how dare she? You know, I remember one girl verbally abused me, and she said, well, fuck you. And I said, oh, yeah, well, fuck you, too. And next thing I know, the kids in my class, those who heard it, they were like, ooh, Robin said the F word. And then when my sister went to pick me up, they told my sister that I said that. And I thought I was in so much trouble. Well, my sister didn't give a shit. Now that I look back on it, she didn't care. I think thinking back on it, I think she was glad I did. You know. And then to keep things quiet for me, then my mom started volunteering at the school. And that was the only way that things could be settled once and for all. I mean, the bullying got so bad that by the time I reached 8th grade, my mom said to me, well, if you want, I will transfer you out of this school and I will put you in another one. And I thought about it. I seriously considered it. But then I thought, no. No, why do that? That doesn't make any sense. Because I've been at this school from 1972 to 1981, and now you're going 1972 to 1980, and now you're going to tell me that in a class of September 1981 to June 1982, you're going to tell me I can go to another school? Then that means all of this was for nothing. Why leave now in the last year? No. I'll go to a new school when I graduate from high school. When I graduate and go to high school. And I'll never have to see the kids that I went to grade school with ever again. And in the beginning it was hard because those kids were all that I knew. And they transferred to a Catholic school in the inner city, and I transferred to a Catholic school. They matriculated to a Catholic school in the inner city, and I matriculated to a Catholic school in the up in the suburbs. And only three or four students from my grade school followed me over to my new high school. And once again, I had to go through bullying. I went through it freshman year of high school. And it was the same crap. I was quiet. I was shy. I was demure. I was articulate. It was blah, blah, blah. But a year went by. And once I got into sophomore year, halfway through sophomore year, the bullying stopped. The bullying stopped. And it wasn't as bad. I mean, it was more emotional and mental than it was physical in high school. But once it stopped, everyone eventually accepted me, and I became friends with the people who bullied me. And the irony is, the weird thing is, 25 years later, we're now all the best of friends. And I am now closer with my friends from high school than I was with the kids I went to grade school with. And truth be told, I wouldn't have it any other way. And as for the bullies who made my life a living hell, I never saw them again. But I do live with the physical reminders. The leg twitch being one of them. The second, if you'll notice, under my right eye, you'll see there's a little mark there. A boy punched me in the face. I can't remember what I did or what I said. I just know that he was in my class. He was in my second grade class, and he punched me in the face in recess. And he hit me the day before class picture day, a day or two before class picture day. He split the skin, and it never healed properly. It never healed properly because I think he broke a blood vessel, and that's why the spot under my right eye developed. And now, as I've gotten older, I can feel that there is now a small mole growing where I got punched. And so every day when I go to put on my makeup or I go to wash my face in the mirror and I see myself, or even now when I'm looking into this camera making this YouTube video, I see the spot under my eye, and every time I see it, I'm always reminded about that kid who hit me. So I understand where all of you are coming from, and I know it's hard, and it's hard to get people to listen to you. But after a while, sometimes you just need to take control and to find a way to fight back and not to let it get to you to the point where you're ready to take your own life. Although even that can be hard. That was the experience I had as a child. Now I'm a grown woman and I can see things differently. Also, I live with a teaching professional. My sister has been a grade school teacher for over 20 years. 25 years. And she has to see the effects of bullying. She has to see kids like me, who were like me, get trampled on by bigger, stronger kids. And she tries to help them and she tries to give them advice, but sometimes it's hard for her. And now there's so many rules and so many regulations. You see, back when I was going to school, a Catholic school in the 70s. And if any of your parents out there who were Catholic and have gone to school in the 70s, you know it was a whole different shebang-a-bang. The nuns, priests, and brothers, and friars, and sisters, and mother superiors, they were allowed to whip your ass back then. They were allowed to use corporal punishment. They were allowed to hit you with rulers and taped up paddles. They were allowed to make you kneel on a broomstick and hold out Bibles in the palms of your hands. Why? Because they made you simulate the feeling of Christ being executed so you could understand his suffering. Oh yes, they did that. But now, you can't use corporal punishment, supposedly. Teachers are not allowed to use corporal punishment on the students, and they will lose their job. My sister, as much as there were some kids at her school who she could just see, she would just love to see their parents whack them upside the head, she can't do it herself. She would lose her job. And in a way, rightfully so. So she tries to help out those who are bullied the best that she can. But sometimes the fighting gets out of hand. And the fighting gets so out of hand, sometimes between the bully and the victim, that when the teacher tries to intervene and try to break it up and bring the kids, make them go to their respective corners, she gets hurt. There has been plenty of times when my sister has come home from work with bruises all over her body, trying to break up fights between bullies and their victims. So when I made those statements on the Foamy video, I wasn't trying to hurt any of you. I wasn't trying to say that I don't understand your pain, because trust me, I do understand it. I still live with it. 30 years later, I still live with the physical and emotional scars of bullying. I know what you're going through. And I know what you're going through on the computer, because I've had people bully me on the computer. And I fight back. And maybe I don't do it the right way. Maybe I shouldn't be verbally abusive against people, but it's gotten to a point where fighting back is now a part of me. It's become a pride thing with me. It used to be a way that fighting back was a way to physically safeguard myself from bullies. But now not only do I have to physically safeguard myself, I also have to emotionally and mentally do it too. I feel as though I'm not going to let some pissy-ass punk sitting on a computer screen, supposedly anonymous, make me feel bad about myself. When you don't know me, you don't know a damn thing about me, you don't know how I live, you don't know what I've been through, but you're going to call me every kind of name in the book? Oh no, I'm not going to let you do that. I'm going to fight back. I'm going to tell you off. If you're going to hurt me, I'm going to find a way to hurt you back. Not physically, but I will use my words, my mind, and my intelligence to put you in your place and keep you there. And that's all I want you kids to do. If you cannot fight back, find somebody, go to somebody that you trust, talk to that person and tell them that you are being hurt. 2 heads are better than 1. If you feel as though you can't handle the problem on your own, don't. Get help. But if you feel as though you can, if you feel as though you have the strength and the fortitude to do so, fight back. Don't let nobody take your self-esteem and your pride and your physical well-being away from you. You are the only you you've got. You're never going to get another you again. This is it. Once you close your eyes, you're done. Make it count. Somebody hurts you, hurt them back. Maybe that's not the best advice, but that's the only advice I can give at this moment. Or get somebody to help you. Now, I don't know if Mr. Mathers is going to attach this video to the Teacher and Bullies video. I hope he does, though. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please contact me on YouTube. Thank you, everybody. This is Robin Baylor saying peace.